If you've got a higher score, then things are looking good, and if you don't, there's work to do, baby. Approaching 5 to 11 here on New Star Radio 98.7 FM. Thanks for your company so far this morning. Hope you're enjoying the show. Still plenty to come though in the next hour, so do look out for that, including 10 business documentaries that maybe you could do. I'm not suggesting you watch all 10 of them now over the Easter bank holiday, but maybe fit a couple of them in that could help you give guidance to some stuff that can go on in your life, your finances and your business. But maybe it's time to take stock and do a midlife financial MOT. Now, I don't know when midlife is. That could possibly be because I'm in denial about being in midlife. I don't know. That's a whole different conversation for a whole different day. But what I do know is that if retirement is something that you would like to do at some point, maybe now's the time to have a little think about what that might look like for you. Okay, so experts have long feared, okay, that us Brits are not saving enough money for our retirement, and there are currently reports out there warning millions who basically have no idea what's going to happen when it comes to income in their retirement. Now, I think the people who potentially can fare worse are actually self-employed people who make a pretty good living, because the problem that we may encounter is that when retired, we can't replicate that living, but at the same time have not necessarily put enough into the system to get any kind of real estate pension, won't necessarily have an employment pension, and therefore could go from living off thousands of pounds a month to like £23.50, which I'm figuring is going to be problematic. And by the way, I plucked that number out of the sky. There's no science behind that number, but you get my point. It's bad, okay? And that's where we don't want to be. So what I wanted to do in the next few minutes, and what I'm going to suggest is I'm going to rattle through this list pretty quick, okay? So if you want to hear this list again, just go back to my website, financialstyle.media, where a copy of the show will be uploaded, and you will be able to go right back to this point, okay? About 50 minutes into the show, 55 minutes into the show, for you to get these questions. And these are really important questions for you to answer if you want to figure out whether you are where you should be. Now, I'd say do the quiz, don't cheat, but also don't panic, okay? If you hear some of these questions and you're like, Lord Jesus Christ, I never thought about that, then remember that it's Easter, firstly, and that prayer is good, and that secondly, there is always a way, and it is never too late to address an issue, okay? Knowledge is power, but the first thing we've got to do is get realistic about where we are in order to take appropriate steps. So I'm just saying. So we're going to start off with wealth, okay, and wealth management. Question number 1, there's 30 questions. This is why I say you may need to return to the list. Out of 5 is I strongly agree, 4 is agree, 3 is neither agree or disagree or neutral, 2 is disagree, 1 is strongly disagree, okay? Oh, and 3 can also be not relevant. So 3 is neutral or not relevant, 5 is strong agreement, 1 is strong disagreement. Let's just give you the scale. Right, so wealth. Number 1, I set a monthly target for my spending and savings. Okay, remember, do you strongly agree, which would be closer to 5, or do you strongly disagree, closer to 1? Just be instinctive, don't put too much science into this. I never have to borrow money to make ends meet. I have money set aside for emergencies. Remember, 5 strong agreement, 1 strong disagreement. I have calculated when I can afford to retire. I know how much the state pension is worth today. Not much. Number 6, I know the age at which I will be entitled to my state pension. Too old. Number 7, I know how much I am regularly saving in my personal workplace pension. Number 8, I have calculated how much my personal workplace pension could be worth when I take it. Number 9, I know where my personal workplace pension is invested. Do you know where it is? Number 10, I understand how I can access my personal or workplace pension from the age of 55. Okay? Right. I'm going to rattle through the rest of them because the news is coming up. Remember, 5 is strong agreement, 1 is strong disagreement. 11, I could list my top 5 strengths at work. This is about work now. 12, I regularly dedicate time to my personal development. 13, I regularly seek the career guidance of others at work. 14, I understand my employment rights. 15, I regularly seek feedback from my work colleagues. 16, I regularly give feedback to colleagues. 17, I see my retirement from work as a process over time, not a fixed date. 18, I believe experience is undervalued. 19, I enjoy learning a new skill at work every year. 20, I like change at work. And then the final ones are well-being. 21, I make sure I eat 5 fruit or vegetables every day. 22, I drink 14 units or less of alcohol each week. 23, I get at least 150 minutes of good exercise every week. 24, I sleep well. 25, I know I can call upon friends or family for help. 26, I have a good work-life balance. 27, I have interests outside of work. 28, I volunteer outside of work. 29, I leave work feeling energized. And 30, I have control over my time. To hear that list again, visit financialstyle.media, look for a copy of the show, come to the Money Matters segment and do the quiz. Because what I will say is this: if you've got a higher score, then things are looking good, and if you don't, there's work to do, baby. We'll be back after the main news.